Selection, inspection, care, and use. Apparently not carrot juice, but care and use. Ruben, can you tell me a little bit more about those words?
We want to go through the steps and a better understanding of how to select the gloves, because a lot of people don't know the correct questions to ask. Rubber insulating gloves like the pulse line. The maintenance of the gloves and proper selection. Someone who may have a little knowledge may refer to them as voltage rated gloves, but with Liveline safety we simply call them rigs, because we go a little more into depth with the technical term, which is rubber insulating gloves.
Well, let's get into it on these rigs. First off, selection. How do we select which glove we're going to use? Because I've seen that there's a lot of different types.
It can be confusing for a lot of people because of the different colors, the different lengths, and then what are these little labels? What's the difference between this black glove and that yellow glove? Like, what does all that mean is what we like to go in and discuss further with the videos.
Okay, so the first thing is voltage.
Yes. You're thinking probably just with some simple logic. Yes, voltage rated gloves, that's the first thing we want to look at. If I'm working on 480, right, a common exposure for electrical workers, I want to make sure that these gloves are rated for that exposure. Okay, so that little classification label right there alone tells us that. What does that red label mean? And the color of the glove. Does this even matter if it's black or yellow? This is what's important.
All right, because I, as a layman, would have thought the color mattered. So I guess that's interesting to know. The label is very important to look at. All right, so that's selection. Inspection is next?
Yes.
Okay, what is inspection entail?
Inspection is something that you'll want to do before each use, okay? So before performing a task, to make sure the glove hasn't been compromised since the last task or from improper storage maybe, we want to make sure that they're still good and they're going to protect us.
Okay. So we got our selection, we got our inspection, and now care and use. Are we going to break those up, or is that kind of the same thing?
It's kind of hand in hand,
All right.
pun intended. Hand in hand, so that we kind of understand how to care for them, extend the life expectancy so that they're just not abused. When you think about these are the barrier between you and the electrical hazard, which can kill you from shock exposure.
Do you feel like the industry generally understands?
We have to educate our sales staff more than the average worker is educated, because they need to also be salespersons, in a sense that they're not just salespersons, but they're more educating as well.
Yeah.
They use the wrong terminology, they get confused with the items, and they end up walking away with what they didn't ask for because they didn't know.
Yeah, and that can be dangerous when you're out here giving them the stuff that's supposed to keep them safe. So we want to make sure that we are accurate, and that's why we are glad to have partners like Ruben at Liveline, who has this expertise and even does trainings on these topics. So we'll get more into that at a later date, but thanks for walking us through the selection, inspection, care, and use of these high voltage electrical insulating gloves, or hot gloves.
And thanks for working with us.
We'll see you next time.